Well, this one's been coming for a while. Jaheim Singletary is committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. Not shocking if you're over on Dog Post. You know that this one's been coming for some time now. And Matt DeBerry has been all over this. But, look, a five-star guy, Georgia's secondary in the future is looking very, very good. You can read what Matt had to say here about Singletary. Enough size and length for a Kirby Smart secondary with wide receiver like ball skills. Excellent option at receiver, but he's a DB. That's this class is not done for Georgia, but you need okay. So if you take a look at Georgia's depth chart and their class chart, they are in a situation here where they're going to need to sign some guys in the secondary. You've already got Starks in the boat. Now you have Singletary. It's a really good get for Georgia. I mean, he had been kind of an Ohio State guy for a little bit. He's from Jacksonville. And with everything that's going on at Florida right now, it cannot be surprising that this happened. But, um, you know, now Georgia is stacking up a really significant signing class again. Now they're the consensus number one class in the country. That's a big deal. I mean, in today's college football world, where everything is predicated seemingly on the amount of talent that you have or that you can, toggle together, uh, there's just so few people who are going to schools like Georgia Tech or South Carolina or whatever. They're all going to Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State. More and more and more and more guys are going to those schools, and it's killing everybody else. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And now you see with this pickup, Georgia another five-star guy in the secondary alongside Starks, who people swear by Malachi Starks. Okay, and in the time that I've seen Starks, he's certainly a very gifted player. But 23 commits, five of them are DBs: Malachi Starks, Ja'Cory Thomas, Julian Humphrey, and then Groves Killebrew. They, they're getting what you need because this season they are going to rotate out these guys who are. I mean, Speed is going to leave. Well, I don't want to say what's happening because I'm not reporting this, but Kendrick is, you would imagine, is here at Georgia for a little bit of time and he's going to leave. You got Speed, who's also a Jacksonville guy, Chris Smith, William Poole, who walked the other day. You got Latavius Brini, another guy from Florida. That's five DBs. That's a lot, and they've had issues with safety. You also have Lewis Seen, who's probably going to go. So there's some transition at DB. Georgia's not going to have the same DBs next year as they have this, with the exception of Ringo. So you've got Kimber, Ringo, Green, Daniel, Lassiter, Bullard, Carroll moving from running back to DB. So now you're going to bring in five guys. You're probably going to lose six. We'll see. But that, like, when you're bringing in, like, Green and Daniel are top 100 players, and they've really not played a ton this year. Ringo, obviously, a top 100 guy. Kendrick was a top 100 guy. And Lewis was a top 100 guy, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got the parts here to keep it rolling. And now with the addition of another high level guy, let's just say top 100. I mean, he's a five-star guy, Singletary. But, you know, this is why Florida fired Dan Mullen, because too many guys from Jacksonville, and he's deciding to go 6 hours north to go play for Kirby and the Dogs. So 5.5, whatever. Instead of playing an hour and a half from there. And this isn't just some guy. He was never involved with the Gators in a significant way. It was Ohio State and Georgia. He backed, he had committed to Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. And then he backed away over time and he went to Georgia. And we're at the point now, we're within 30 days of signing day here. Um, I just, a couple of things. Number one, the way that Kirby and company recruit guys is on a personal level They are recruiting not just the player, but the mom, the dad, the assistant coach at the high school, the best friend. There's a holistic approach. It's not any one person that they're recruiting. They're not exclusively recruiting the player and the head football coach. Those days are gone. And it's even more sophisticated than that, okay? On top of that, everybody's wanting, all these high level guys are wanting to play at a place where they can get you out in 3 years and you can win in a big way. So they want you to be developed, or excuse me, they want to be developed, they want to win, and they want to get to the league. And, they want to be trained by experts. I don't mean this, but I do not know the secondary coach at Florida. I don't know who that person was or is. I mean, they're going through a transition now. But like, Kirby's got his hands in everything as far as the defense is concerned. Not only that, just look at quarterback recruiting. I mean, you got Gunnar Stockton. Before him was, you know, Brock Vandegrift. Before that was Carson Beck. Before that was JT. I mean, they just have stacked up players everywhere. Look at the linebackers. So this is an important get, though, because a five-star guy is always important, but a five-star guy at a position of need in the near future. I mean, Matt couldn't do this video, so I jumped on and did it. Matt said this is a big get for Georgia because of the length, the athleticism. You're playing at a big school in Florida because Lee, I think, is a bigger school in Jacksonville. That's, this is a good get for Georgia. And he doesn't have to be immediately dominant. Singletary can take his time and develop too. I mean, Keely Ringo's in his second year at Georgia, and we're seeing how he's progressed. Last season, injury. This season, playing a lot. He'll play another year, and then will he be at Georgia? Probably not. But why would you stick around when you can go get paid and get closer to your second contract earlier in your life? I mean, this is what these guys are going to do. But this move gives Georgia the consensus #1 class, which if you're between Georgia, Bama, and Ohio State, that's really important to get as high as you can go, and to prevent Ohio State from getting somebody is really important, because this is just where Georgia and Ohio State and the Tide are at. They're all fighting with one another. It's really important to get these kinds of guys, not just for yourself, but to keep them from other people. Another trait that makes him elite is his hands. He's a wide receiver playing defensive back, and that's where his future is. Soft hands, ability to climb the ladder, catch the ball at its highest point. But it's the length that's such an important thing in this league, because the receivers are badasses. They just are. And it just more and more. You look at those Alabama receivers, they're badasses. You look at the Ohio State receivers, they're badasses. So you're not always going to get to the quarterback. You're going to have to defend. And in Kirby's system, just like Nick, really, they're going to play some man. So if you, in a perfect world, you would have guys that have, long limbs that can move. These people do not grow on trees, defensive backs with long limbs who can get out there and play. So when they're special, you got to get them. And Kirby is doing his part to get them. And again, these guys all want to play together. They want to be on the same team. They want to be in the same. So it's really becoming an Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State fight. And I think that's why you're going to see in the future those three teams in the playoff more often than not. I mean, that's just what I think. But Jaheim Singletary committed to the Dogs. Georgia has the #1 class in the country right now. Pretty big deal. We'll see you over on dogpost.com. Thanks for watching.